The Coach Woodard Show. Brought to you by Walter and Sheila Umphrey. Charlene Dawson. Classic of Southeast Texas. Orange Savings Bank. Silsbee Toyota. Gulf Coast Fabricators. And Giglio Distributing. Now, here's your host, Mike Friedman, and Lamar University head football coach, Ray Woodard.
Good evening, everyone. It's time to talk Lamar Cardinal football. Welcome to the Coach Woodard Show right here on KFDM TV. I am Mike Friedman alongside the coach himself, Ray Woodard. Coach, we've got 2 games to get through. We're going to have a little bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to save the good for last, though. So we'll get to some of the bad. We'll jump right in. The season opener on the road at Louisiana Lafayette. Your first time facing an FBS school. Your thoughts on this game,
I'm going to let you talk about that one, and I'll talk about the one last night. No, it was, and it was a great first step for us to do this, but it was an education.
Yeah. The experience of playing a team like this was, like I mentioned, first FBS school you've played. You're about to face it. We'll talk about that later in the show, about to face another FBS school. What will you learn from this game that you can carry all season long with you?
Well, I like the fact that we came back in the second half and actually did some things right, because we didn't do much of anything right the first quarter. Almost everything that could go wrong did go wrong. But I like the way our team held on. I mean, you're showing all the miscues here, and that really was the highlights.
Yeah.
And it was a tough afternoon for us, but the maturity of our team and where we are today, we were able to handle this and turn it around, and that was the thing I was the most proud of.
We'll go to the scoreboard in this one. We might as well, as because the Cardinals didn't get any points on the board. We're shut out 40-0, the final to Louisiana Lafayette, the season opener. And that could have been devastating for a team. I know starting the season, a lot of high expectations for this team. And they responded well. I mean, the week of practice last week, they weren't down, were they?
Well, they were, but they should have been. But we came out and we worked hard. I think the second half, that was the halftime score, by the way, the final score. So we really did some things the second half defensively. We shut them out, and offensively we moved the ball, and we had some things to show them the second half of film. You could say, look, this is what it can be like when we do play well, we do things right. So we did come away with it with some positives, and it did carry over and help us this past week.
All right, we're going to step aside for a quick break. When we return, game 2 of the season, the home opener last night. Things went well. You're watching the Coach Woodard Show right here on KFDM Channel 6.
Truck owners, you've been waiting for this. Area's largest selection. Silverado starting at $16,988. GMC Sierra starting at $16,988. Best prices in Southeast Texas. We call it Truck Month. Only at Classic Southeast Texas.
For more than a decade, Gulf Coast Fabricators has maintained an excellence in product quality, availability, and customer satisfaction. Our growth is the result of exceeding our customers' demands for on-time deliveries, stringent specification compliance, and competitive pricing. Quality and services are our standards, and our standard is excellence. We invite you to take advantage of our experience and versatility. Call Gulf Coast Fabricators today.
If you believe your hometown bank should be in your hometown,
then visit one of your locally owned Orange Savings Bank locations and get your oink on. We've been serving families throughout Southeast Texas for decades, and we want to invite you to let us help with your checking, savings, mortgage, auto, or any other loan. And now open with a new convenient Mid-County location on Central Mall Drive in Mid-County. Get your oink on today at one of your 6 convenient Orange Savings Bank locations.
Silsbee Toyota is focused on what really matters, you, the customer. And that means we're dedicated to providing you with an exceptional car buying experience. Silsbee Toyota has a large vehicle selection to ensure that you find exactly what you're looking for. Plus, our highly trained and knowledgeable staff can answer any questions you may have. When you're ready to buy your next vehicle, come see us at Silsbee Toyota on the corner of Highway 96 and 327. Silsbee Toyota, redefining the car business.
We're back. Time now to talk about last night's home opener, Prairie View A&M in town. And if you don't know by now, everything really did go very well for the Cardinals. Coach, your thoughts before we look at the highlights here? Your thoughts on how well the team played?
Well, I mean, we came back from Louisiana Lafayette, and I said even though we didn't play well and we didn't win the game, we really look at the film to improve, and that's what we had to do. Is obviously we had some work to do. We had a great week of work. You know, guys really handled it the way they needed to. Our coaches did a great job, and it paid off.
Let's go ahead and head out to Provost Humphrey Stadium, look at the action from this one. We'll start off first offensive possession for you, 1st and 10 on the LU 29. Sims right here. Nice to see him break through a 23-yarder right here.
I think this was our first play from scrimmage, and it was a great way to get started to rip a run off of the middle. And he has the speed to do some things with it after he breaks the line of scrimmage.
It's Herschel Sims, the transfer from Oklahoma State, and this got you on Prairie View's side, and we're going to go back and forth. You've seen the highlights. This is the end zone angle from Sims' run here, 23-yarder. We talked to him after the game. He said it was nice that he was able to. He gave it all his force, and the line really protected for him well.
We did well. We controlled the line of scrimmage and then really ate up the time of possession in the game. We had the ball almost 2-1 to Prairie View, and that was a big key to get the ball game.
Defensive play here we saw right there. That's Tyrus McLaughlin here, the junior DB, with a big hit. Actually, I think they don't complete the pass here.
Yeah, Tyrus, we got him from Cisco Junior College, and he's really playing well.
Offensive play here. This is Ryan Mosikowski finding Kevin Johnson for a 20-yard gain, puts you inside the red zone.
Oh, Ryan really had a good game managing the ball. We had no turnovers last night after really a disaster over in Lafayette. But managed the game well, made some great decisions, and Kevin Johnson's going to do a lot of this year. He's a young man that can really do some things with the ball after he catches it, and you'll see some of that later on in these highlights.
Absolutely. Back to defense. This is Prairie View and LU territory. James Washington stopping the run here.
You know, Jay Wash was off to a great year last year and was injured in the Texas State game in the season, but he's in mid-season form and looking like the player we thought he'd be.
Back to offense. We're back in the first quarter now. Mosikowski finding Kevin Johnson, first touchdown of the season for Big Red.
All right, you know, good protection, good read. He threw the ball where he's supposed to throw it, made a good throw, and Kevin did a good job making sure he got both feet down in bounds. And this is what you want to see: good protection, good throw, good catch.
Good call from offensive coordinator Coach Kett.
Larry had a good night calling plays. He mixed it up well and kept them off guard. I think we had 8 or 9 different receivers catch passes.
9, I believe, yeah.
Our running backs did it by committee as well, and good night for our offense.
Here's another standout play by the defense. They go left. Lamar's there for a loss in the backfield here.
You know, in the sideline view, you can sit on the end zone well. We got a lot of guys who can really rally to the ball, and you'll see when he catches the ball, and you'll see a lot of red shirts showing up, and we did that all night.
Second TD of the quarter, this one from 8 yards out again to Kevin Johnson.
Again, the run kind of set this up. We kind of ran the ball a lot of time down the field, and the slant was wide open. You kind of have a two-way go on what kind of route you need to run predicated on what you see the DB doing, and we felt like we could beat him inside, and there was an open lane there, and Ryan threw the ball right where he needed to throw it, and again, good protection.
Good to see those guys hooking up and getting that chemistry.
You bet. I think they'll just get better the more they play together.
Next is junior Chad Allen getting to the running back, and that's for a loss as well here.
Chad had another heck of a night. He's had 2 very good football games, and I mean, he is really playing well and was the Southland Conference Player of the Week. Is it too early to say that?
Well, that'll come out officially tomorrow, but you can go ahead and say it. Well, congrats to him, Chad Allen.
They don't like me anyway, so we'll go ahead and say it.
First possession, second quarter now. Kevin Johnson getting the first rushing touchdown of the season, his 3rd touchdown in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, people call this the Wildcat package. We line him up at the quarterback position, and I didn't see him after the initial plunge into the line, and then he broke. It was a heck of a run on his part. He showed a lot of athleticism here, and it was good to see us get the receiving and the rushing touchdowns out of the way.
That's right. Beaumont Central grad Brandon Thomas here doesn't get fooled on the double pass, gets a pick, returns it 15 yards.
There's a huge play in the game. They got a couple first downs there, and it was the first time it really had a little continuity going offensively, and that snuffed out the drive, and a great play.
Good job there. We'll go to the final of this one. Lamar, after being shut out the week before, pitches a shutout of their own, 31-0. Lamar takes down Prairie View A&M. Of course, we had last night a chance to hear from some of the players after the big win. Let's go ahead and hear their thoughts on that 31-0 victory.
Feels good to get this win on our belt. You know, last week we weren't too happy with the results of the game, and we just had a good week of practice and had the mindset to come out strong, and we just couldn't let that happen again.
From day one, we knew that this offense was very versatile, and Coach Keck does a phenomenal job, getting in there and calling the right plays and spreading it around. It makes my job a whole lot easier when he calls the right plays. I tip my hat to him, and he did a great job tonight.
Coach, that takes us to our Miller Lite Player of the Week. It's sophomore transfer wide receiver Kevin Johnson. We did see all of those first half touchdowns. Talk about his performance.
Had a good night. Also did a good job blocking when we were running the ball, and I think we've only scratched the surface with him. I look for him to do great things for us this year, but it sure was great to see him get off to the start at home. We needed it.
He was in good mood after the game last night. We had a chance to talk with Kevin after the win, and he gave credit for his performance to his coach and teammates.
I was got to tip my hat off to, Coach Keck, offensive line, and Ryan, really, because before I can touch the ball, it starts with those three people. So, getting the right play called, I was able to get some good matchups, one-on-one on the outside. Me and Ryan were able to take advantage of that.
And a new addition to the show this season, the Orange Savings Bank Southeast Texas Player of the Week, a local product that really stands out. And the first honor goes to former Central Jaguar Brandon Thomas. 6 shutout quarters of play, Coach, and he's played a big part in that for the defense.
He has. He had a very good freshman year. Last year was hampered with a hamstring injury, but he's back and he's put in 2 good games. And then again, one of the reasons that we're playing the way we're playing on defense, he's off to a great start.
We also got a chance to speak with Brandon last night. Here's his thoughts after the win.
I feel really confident. We feel like we started to make some strides toward playing well in the second half against Louisiana Lafayette. We started communicating better, just feeding off each other's energy, keeping plays alive, and knowing that if we can just get the ball back for our offense, they can put some points on the board. So that's all we're trying to do is create a couple turnovers and get them back on the field in the position and score.
We've covered the first 2 games of the season, plus our first 2 players of the week. And on the other side of this break, it's time to go in depth with our Cardinal close-up. That's just 2 minutes away.
If you believe your hometown bank should be in your hometown,
then visit one of your locally owned Orange Savings Bank locations and get your OI-COIN. We've been serving families throughout Southeast Texas for decades, and we want to invite you to let us help with your checking, savings, mortgage, auto, or any other loan. And now open with a new convenient Mid-County location on Central Mall Drive in Mid-County. Get your OI-COIN today at one of your 6 convenient Orange Savings Bank locations.
Truck owners, you've been waiting for this. Area's largest selection. Silverado starting at $16,988. GMC Sierra starting at $16,988. Best prices in Southeast Texas. We call it Truck Month. Only at Classic Southeast Texas.
For more than a decade, Gulf Coast Fabricators has maintained an excellence in product quality, availability, and customer satisfaction. Our growth is the result of exceeding our customers' demands for on-time deliveries, stringent specification compliance, and competitive pricing. Quality and services are our standards, and our standard is excellence. We invite you to take advantage of our experience and versatility. Call Gulf Coast Fabricators today.
Silsbee Toyota is focused on what really matters, you, the customer. And that means we're dedicated to providing you with an exceptional car buying experience. Silsbee Toyota has a large vehicle selection to ensure that you find exactly what you're looking for. Plus, our highly trained and knowledgeable staff can answer any questions you may have. When you're ready to buy your next vehicle, come see us at Silsbee Toyota on the corner of Highway 96 and 327. Silsbee Toyota, redefining the car business.
The quarterback position is one recognized by even the most casual of football fans. The offense runs through and relies on the quarterback's success. QBs just happen to be the focus of our Cardinal close-up. 6 Sports' Andrew Chernoff has more.
The quarterback position is the glamour spot on the football field. They're the guys people praise if the team wins or blame if the team loses.
It's the position everybody likes to watch and everybody likes to focus on, and that's just football.
For the Lamar Cardinals, there is no shortage of quarterbacks. The team has 5 of them on the roster. I'll let head coach Ray Woodard give you the brief rundown on each.
First of all, I like the way that we're spread out. You got Ryan Malzakowski, it's a redshirt junior. He's the oldest, kind of a little more mature, probably got a little more college experience. Caleb Berry's a redshirt sophomore. He's been here. This is his 3rd year here. Then you got Dylan Barrett. He's his 1st year here, but he's a redshirt freshman. He does have 1 year of college experience. And then you got a true freshman in Matthew Badgeron. He doesn't want to be called Bergeron. So I like the way they're spread out. They're working well together. I think all 4 of them do some things differently from the other one, and I think it's a good working group.
Junior transfer Ryan Masakowski is the current starter on the team, having his best game of the year against Prairie View A&M. In that contest, he went 21 of 30 with 2 touchdowns and found 9 different receivers. He was not named the number 1 until the week of LU's first game against Louisiana Lafayette, but the competition between he and number 2 QB Caleb Berry created no rifts.
I'm going to support Ryan with whatever he does. If he doesn't too hot, I'm going to support him, try to get his spirits up. If he does good, I'm going to cheer for him.
I think it's a win-win situation for both of us. You know, I think we go out every day of practice that we're pushing each other, and even on game days, you know, you never know. I mean, we're still competing for the job.
A reason why Berry is so supportive, maybe because he listened to his father when he was younger.
My dad's a coach, and so he's always told me, you know, I've had teams that had great talent. They didn't play together as a team, and they wouldn't do too hot. Those guys that were average, they play together as a team. They go on, go make playoffs and stuff like that. So we're trying to have that mentality, be a team, and see how good we can do with that.
In fact, all these quarterbacks understand that team concept. They are good friends and realize they are part of a unique fraternity on the field.
A lot of people don't really see the off the field, but we all hang out together. We all you know, go get dinner here and there, or, you know, try and find things to do.
I'm learning a lot. I love them. We're becoming a family, like Moss and Barry, some of the older quarterbacks. They're awesome.
I'm going to give those guys all my support. I'm going to be the biggest fan on the sideline. It's just, I'm always a team player. I want the team to do great.
These guys are competing, but they're also knowing that they're all wearing red and they're all on the same team, so they seem to be working together a little bit better.
Berry, though, is the only Lamar quarterback who played in some games last year for the Cards. In the season finale against McNeese State, Berry went 16 of 23 for 150 yards and a touchdown. But what did he learn last year?
Your time can come whenever. I was 4th-string quarterback, so you got to be ready whenever your name's called. So that's what I took from last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's times where you're just sitting there and you're just, okay, all right. But, you know, when you get your number called, you know, you got to, no matter how much you're sitting over on the sideline watching, you got to perform. And so when you're not getting the reps, you got to be mentally getting reps. So when your number's called, you perform.
I got to prepare like I'm going to be a starter because I'm 3 plays away from being in.
And because they could be on the field at any time, the signal callers must have a grasp of the new offense under offensive coordinator Larry Keck.
It's a different offense, different coaches, and he's a good guy, but he'll get on you. He's not shy about that.
I believe Coach Keck is a very successful guy. I think what he brings is just off the charts. He's an awesome coach, great guy, and have a lot of respect for him and what he's done.
Coach Keck's a great coach. The offense is different than what I've done, you know, a lot of motion, a lot of stuff like that, but I like the offense. I like what he's doing. I believe in it. I trust the offense, so it's going to be good.
This is different from what I ran in high school. It's more of a pro style, and I ran a spread, air raid system.
You have them adjust to the style of the offense, but you also try to adjust the style of the offense to not just them, but to your running backs, to your receivers, to your offensive line, to everybody.
For the freshman QBs, there's more to get used to than just the offense.
I mean, the transition from a private school to the college level has definitely been different. It's a lot more difficult.
It's different, you know, making the adjustment from high school to college, from being a star to back to being a freshman again. It's one of my biggest adjustments I've had to make, but I'm fine with that.
It's tough at times. It's tough 'cause you always want to be out there. You always want to be doing your part, you know, helping the team. But, you know, right now, sometimes your part's standing over there, just, you know, rooting on. But when your number's called, you got to perform.
This close-knit group of offensive leaders may be young, but the respect is there for them on the coaching staff, and that may help the team for years to come.
They're great young men, really great men to work with, and they're doing a good job of getting a little bit better each day.
For the Coach Woodard Show, this has been a Cardinal Close-Up.
We'll step aside one more time. When we return, we're going to talk about one heck of a road trip for LU. That and more right after this.
Aloha.
You've been waiting for this. Area's largest selection. Silverado starting at $16,988. GMC Sierra starting at $16,988. Best prices in Southeast Texas. We call it Truck Month. Only at Classic Southeast Texas.
If you believe your hometown bank should be in your hometown,
Then visit one of your locally owned Orange Savings Bank locations and get your OICOD. We've been serving families throughout Southeast Texas for decades, and we want to invite you to let us help with your checking, savings, mortgage, auto, or any other loan. And now open with a new convenient Mid-County location on Central Mall Drive in Mid-County. Get your OICOD today at one of your 6 convenient Orange Savings Bank locations.
Silsby Toyota is focused on what really matters, you, the customer. And that means we're dedicated to providing you with an exceptional car buying experience. Silsby Toyota has a large vehicle selection to ensure that you find exactly what you're looking for. Plus, our highly trained and knowledgeable staff can answer any questions you may have. When you're ready to buy your next vehicle, come see us at Silsby Toyota on the corner of Highway 96 and 327. Silsby Toyota, redefining the car business.
All right, Coach, time to talk about this week's opponent. You're just days away from making a trip to Hawaii.
I sure hope the buses are gassed up. It's going to be a long bus ride.
No, not bus ride, plane ride. But
oh, yeah, plane ride.
You got a chance to, I'm sure, see them against USC. What do you know about Hawaii?
Well, I've been over there 3 times to coach games, not against them, but I've been over there. I know a lot of the distractions that goes along with it. It's very pleasant distractions, but they got probably the best home field advantage in FBS because of all that goes with it, and then they're very good at home. They're going to have a big crowd and they play hard, and we're going to have to be focused, and that's going to be a tough sell, staying focused this week.
Hawaii was off this past weekend, so they're going to have 2 weeks to prepare for the Cardinals. And of course, Hawaii head coach Norm Chow holds a weekly press conference. He was asked what he knows about Lamar.
What do you know about Lamar?
Not much. You know that they have a new coaching staff. We are looking for the film that this is the fact that we don't play next week allows them to not give us the tapes till next week. So we're trying to find some things. We know they play in the odd front, which we can work on because our next 3 games are all against odd fronts. We know that they have a lot of talent. They get guys kind of like we do, a little bit, maybe a couple bounce back guys, a guy from the stars from Oklahoma State. But right now, the emphasis is on us.
All right, Coach, now how hard will it be to keep your players focused on the job at hand, which is facing Hawaii?
Well, I've talked to some guys that have brought teams out there. We're going to embrace what we're doing. We're going to enjoy ourselves while we're out there, but we know what we're going to do or we don't have to do. The film doesn't lie. There's a very good football team. That'll get their attention fast, so I think we'll be fine.
We'll take one final break. We'll be back with Coach Woodard's final thoughts right after this.
Silsby Toyota is focused on what really matters, you, the customer. And that means we're dedicated to providing you with an exceptional car buying experience. Silsby Toyota has a large vehicle selection to ensure that you find exactly what you're looking for. Plus, our highly trained and knowledgeable staff can answer any questions you may have. When you're ready to buy your next vehicle, come see us at Silsby Toyota on the corner of Highway 96 and 327. Silsby Toyota, redefining the car business.
For more than a decade, Gulf Coast Fabricators has maintained an excellence in product quality, availability, and customer satisfaction. Our growth is the result of exceeding our customers' demands for on-time deliveries, stringent specification compliance, and competitive pricing. Quality and services are our standards, and our standard is excellence. We invite you to take advantage of our experience and versatility. Call Gulf Coast Fabricators today.
You've been waiting for this. Area's largest selection. Silverado starting at $16,988. GMC Sierra starting at $16,988. Best prices in Southeast Texas. We call it Truck Love. Only at Classic Southeast Texas.
All right, while we all wish we could go to Hawaii and root the Cardinals on next weekend, Coach, but the weekend after that, you're back home, Langston, coming to town, and you really had a great crowd last night.
Our student section, that may have been the most students we ever had at a game. I'm very appreciative of that, and we had a little over 15,000. We need to have more because we're not going to have the Prairie View Band and what they brought. We need to fill their seats up with red, and this was a great start. We want to improve as a team, and let's improve as a crowd, but it was a great start. I was very appreciative of the crowd we had, and it energized our players, and I think that's one of the reasons we got out to the start that we got out to was our crowd and our fans were just fantastic.
All right, a good win last night. Cardinals 1-1 on the season. Big road trip. Best of luck to you this coming weekend. And we'll, of course, be back with a Coach Woodard show 2 weeks from tonight. We'll see you then. Good night.
Thank you for watching the Coach Woodard Show. Brought to you by Walter and Sheila Umphrey, Charlene Dolphin, Classic of Southeast Texas, Orange Savings Bank, Silsbee Toyota, Gulf Coast Fabricators, and Giglio Distributing.